Okay, so you've met someone and you've connected and things are going really well for both of you. In fact, you're starting to move in the direction that you always had hoped for. But in this video, I want to actually give you the signs that your relationship is moving too fast and that you're actually headed for love burnout. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Renee Slansky. I'm a professional dating and relationship coach, and I help women from around the world create the relationship they desire and deserve. Now, let's face it, when you finally meet someone that you actually feel a strong emotional and physical connection to, the last thing that you want to do is feel that your relationship is moving so slow that it's just kind of going nowhere. But what happens on the other side when you're actually starting to see each other all the time and you feel like everything's escalating and it's moving in a direction that you wanted to go into, but you're not really sure if it's actually moving too fast? And the reason why I want to do this video is simply because if you move too fast in a relationship, you have a very high probability that that relationship won't actually last. Because what you do is you come across something called love burnout. And love burnout basically is where you both got 100,000,000% each into the relationship, and it's almost like you put too much energy in, you put too much investment in, and then it gets to a point where it kind of just climaxes and then explodes, and both of you realize that it wasn't really the right type of relationship, or one person gets scared and the other one runs away. This is why setting a pace in a relationship is extremely important, even if the other person wants to move faster than what you do. In this video, I'm going to give you some key sort of signs to actually give you an indication whether or not that relationship you're in is actually moving too fast. The first one is this: you are spending way too much time together. People often ask me, okay, well, how much time should I actually spend with someone on a date? And so what I say is that the first 3 months of a relationship, you should really be pacing yourself quite slowly. For example, when you first start seeing someone, you shouldn't really spend more than 2 hours with them on a first date. And the reason why is because if you spend more time than that, then you're not really leaving any mystery about yourselves. You're not giving yourself a chance to sit back and actually have some perspective on that person. And you're almost investing too much without even knowing whether or not that is the right person to actually invest into. And if your relationship is moving too quickly, it means that all you guys want to do is literally spend all this time with each other, and you don't know how to be apart from each other. Number two, you've actually isolated yourself from everyone else, and this is because you're spending so much time together, and it's almost like everything else in your life gets put on hold because your sole focus is on that relationship. Now, when you do that, again, you are losing perspective on whether or not this is someone that you should be committing to. And also, you could be losing your own identity outside of each other and this relationship as well, because everything comes about the two of you spending time together and what you're both wanting to do and where your future's heading. Actually able to have some time outside with friends, that it gives you an opportunity to have a little bit more balance, and also to make sure that you're not losing your own goals, your own purpose outside of what this person represents to you, or what this relationship you have with this person represents to you. Number three, you've skipped the dating phase and you've moved right into the relationship phase. The dating phase is incredibly important in a relationship because that's when we get to have, fun and get to know that person. We've got mystery and we're, learning to work out whether or not they kind of fit in with us, how they make us feel. If you kind of just skip that and go straight into spending so much time together with each other, doing everything together, and essentially doing what a relationship requires two people to do who've already known each other for some period of time, you are moving into a relationship phase without even knowing who it is that you're in a relationship with. Once the infatuation dies off or somebody gets scared, they realize that they didn't even really know this person that much. And they realize that, hang on a second, was this even a relationship that I should be getting into? Don't be in a rush to have a relationship with somebody, even if you are really in love with them or you've really connected with them. That will happen by default. You're better off sticking in the dating phase for as long as actually needed, even if you do want to rush ahead, or even if you do see a future with that person, so that you can give yourselves a chance to have a strong foundation to build in the beginning. Number four, it's become quite intense physically and emotionally early on. And what I mean by that is maybe you've started being intimate with each other physically. Instead of waiting, you've kind of jumped to third base instead of actually, leading up to that. Or you've got this strong emotional connection. So you've started talking about your past, or you started being really kind of deep and open with each other. Now that is normal to want to be able to do that with somebody that you are falling in love with, but it doesn't mean that just because you want that, it should happen at that period so soon. I think it's really important to be able to learn to trust each other. And learning to trust each other isn't kind of like throwing each other in the deep end, okay? Because that's usually when we have blind trust and then we get hurt because we realize, we thought we knew that person and we didn't. And you're like, oh, but I trusted them. It's about understanding that it takes time. And it takes a little investment at a time as well. That is what actually builds the trust. So it's sustainable. And so it actually has a foundation of something that is more stable rather than just how you feel, okay? It's more based on repetition of their actions. Are they consistent with things? Are they able to actually show you and prove to you over time that they are a trustworthy person? Number 5, there isn't any peace about it, okay? We can trick our minds in, again, thinking that because we both feel the same way that we are meant for each other, or because we're both moving in this direction that it's the right sort of relationship. But if you're watching this video, I can guarantee you that you're having some second thoughts about it. And that's probably because you feel or you're worried that if things get out of control, you don't know how you're going to react or how he's going to react. And when you're moving too fast, it's almost like you can't predict the future, okay? Because you don't really know that person, or you don't really know exactly if this is going to be a sustainable relationship, because it's all just like feelings, being with each other 24/7, or moving at a rate which you're not really used to, okay? So if you have some anxiety about the situation, then it's probably an indication that you need to slow things down. As I always say, the 2 biggest indications of a healthy relationship is peace and progress. Number 6, people are starting to say things. For instance, they might actually say, oh gosh, you guys moved in quite quickly. Oh, far out, you're already sleeping at his house. Oh gee, he already gave you a key and you've only known each other for a month. If people in your world are starting to say things, people that you trust, not people that are jealous, then it's usually a good indication that you are doing something to raise alarm bells. And this is why it's important to have a really good tribe around you who keep you accountable to what is actually good for your self-love and your health as well. What we do is when our friends say something or our family say something, we tend to just kind of ignore what they say, or we justify our behavior and the rate of our relationship because we kind of want to turn a blind eye to the truth that we know that things are actually moving faster than what they should. And if you're really unsure, then ask your friends, do you think I'm moving too fast? Do you think that we moved in too quickly together? Do you feel that we spend too much time together? Number 7, they confess their feelings for you too soon. Now, I'm all for being transparent about how you feel. I'm a dating and relationship coach after all. But just because someone says that they love you doesn't mean that they are in love with you. And just because they do say they love you or they are in love with you, it doesn't mean that they are going to be able to give you a healthy relationship. What we do is when we go in too fast, too hard, too soon, we start to allow our emotions and our feelings for that person control our decisions and control our future with what is going to happen with that relationship. It clouds our perspective on whether or not is the right sort of person. It also forces us to move at a rate which is actually going to be incredibly unhealthy and lead to a less stable relationship, because we're basing everything on emotions rather than logic, common sense, or even just education on what it is that is needed to have a healthy relationship. I don't want you to dismiss it and say, well, no, you don't love me, okay? I just want you to take on board that just because they've said that, it doesn't guarantee that that relationship is going to work, and it doesn't guarantee that they are actually willing to act with love. Someone saying they love you and someone then acting with love are 2 totally different things. So what you want to do is you just kind of want to slow it down by, yes, acknowledging how you feel and how they feel, but not allowing that feeling to dictate the pace of your relationship. And lastly, there's probably going to be a little bit of drama in this relationship because you're both so invested and you're moving at such a hard pace and you've both gone 100% each. It means that the emotion in that relationship will actually be magnified. And so what happens is if there's a fight, or if somebody doesn't text back, or there's some sort of passion and everything like that, it's going to be tenfold. And when you have tenfold, it means that there's going to be drama in a relationship. Now, a relationship, or when you date someone, should be about fun. It should have excitement and passion, everything like that, especially if you have a connection. But if that's all you have, just that infatuation or that passion, then you're not really going to have the ingredients to be able to keep that relationship beyond that, okay? You're going to have a honeymoon phase, and then you're going to get that burnout, like I said. When we start to fall in love with someone and we start to date, and we're moving at this pace where we're already sleeping over at each other's house, and we're doing this, and we're, got each other's passwords before you've even got a chance to actually know that person over time and know them beyond what it is that you're just presently feeling, it's going to be really hard to predict the future of that relationship. And what happens is we're going to start to guess, and we're going to start assume, and we're basing our assumptions off the feelings that we have for them, okay? So when we do that, as soon as that there is some sort of break in that pattern of always spending time together, we start questioning, are they cheating on me? Are they doing this? Or maybe I shouldn't be with them. And we start second guessing everything because we haven't actually given ourselves the time to kind of slowly build up that process of having a relationship with them, and knowing that we've built it from not just emotion, but logic as well, and reasoning and perspective, because those are the things that are actually going to give you an indication of whether or not that should be a person that you can have a long-lasting relationship with. Well, there you go, guys. Hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget that I have so many resources, and if you want to get my free relationship guides, all you need to do is click the button below. In the meantime, I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this with someone that you think might be moving too fast. And I'll see you then. Bye for now.